Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lance.
Welcome to our home. Disney World
Versus.
Disneyland.
Let's ask this. What about rides?
Well, rides-wise, I'm of course partial to Disneyland because for one, I've only been on the rides there, but I've seen the ones that they have at Disney World. For me, the reason why I love Disneyland is because it's the original.
Right.
You have the original rides that made Disneyland and Disney for what they are.
Yeah.
You have the original Pirates of the Caribbean. You have the original Small World. You have the original Haunted Mansion. A lot of these rides that were significant, the submarine voyage. Yes, they changed it to Nemo, but it's still the same thing. Matterhorn. You have Space Mountain. It's not there anymore. But you had Inner Space, which is now Star Tours. A lot of different. Oh, and of course, I hate not going to rub it in any of the Disney World people there, but we still have Mr. Toad. So
That's a
kinda
true
cool.
statement.
Yeah. And Mr. Toad probably for me is one. They are doing a refurbishment right now on Snow White's. It's not Snow White's Scary Adventures anymore because they said it was too scary. That's something I really don't want to touch base on. But again, there are things that Disney has changed as far as the rides. They went more PC, as you would say, and took away some of the things in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, they did
They took the redhead. They took a lot of those things different, which is fine. Again, Disney has to get with the times. But as far as the rides go, the one thing that I like is that when I go into Fantasyland, I'm going on all the rides at Fantasyland. And I'm going on Small World, and I'm going on Dumbo, and I'm going on Pinocchio and Peter Pan and Mr. Toad, and the Carousel. I'm going on Casey Jr., which is an awesome ride if y'all haven't done that yet. You go on those rides, and they're all right there. Whereas I feel like somebody, where is Small World located? At Magic Kingdom, right? Fantasyland.
But
and
I've
is
heard
Peter
it's
Pan
different,
too?
though.
Peter
Peter Pan
is
right
too.
across from it.
Okay. And is all the rides there in Fantasyland? Do you have a Fantasyland, or do you guys have rides mixed that go in different areas?
It has rides related to each area. In other words, so you have Fantasyland that'll have Peter Pan. It has Small World. You'll have to help me here because
Carousel.
Yeah, it has a carousel.
It has
Y'all have the Snow White
Seven Dwarfs.
Seven Dwarf
Mine Train.
Mine Train. Okay.
I'm trying to think. I think those are the main ones. And teacups.
Okay. Well, yeah, the teacups and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are all
Then-
in
And
Fantasyland.
then you have where Pirates of the Caribbean is
Frontierland?
No,
New Orleans Square.
Adventureland.
It's
For us,
Yeah,
it's New
Adventureland.
Orleans.
So Adventureland has Pirates of the Caribbean. It has the Jungle
Now, is that
Cruise.
all in, for me, and forgive me again, because I'm, not knowing Walt Disney World that much, is that in the Magic Kingdom?
That's all Magic
All in
Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, yeah.
So all in Magic Kingdom, in the Magic Kingdom, do you have a lot of the same attractions that Disneyland has?
Very
Everything
They
from
have
Autopia.
Similar.
quite a bit. I mean, they're not all the same, but quite a bit.
Okay.
I've heard some of them are different, though, as far as just the looks of them.
They are.
They are.
Yeah, like Small World's a little bit different.
You don't have the big facade that Small World has at Disneyland where it's got, the big
That's
claw.
one thing you
Outside.
walk up to and you just love to see.
I mean, they
outside.
have a.
I
you
would
can
rather
see it,
ride. I mean, this is just me because I'm not attached to Small World. I would rather ride
Like I
the
am.
Small World at Disney World over Disneyland twice over again. But I didn't like.
Is it shorter? What is it? Is it the same? Does it have the same layout?
But it's very similar.
It's very similar, but it's not the same.
It's not the same,
It's a
no.
little different. And they may have done a refurbishment since we were there. I know when we were at Disneyland, there was Small World, and then there was another ride over to the left. That was a wooden ride.
It's been too long. I cannot remember.
Well,
It's
right.
been 5
Not
years.
Pinocchio, right? I mean, you're saying wood. Oh,
Land?
I don't remember. It was.
wood. Get it?
It was like it had water.
Well, that's
Yeah, I think it
with
was
the tiny
Pinocchio.
little
Yeah.
villages.
Yeah, it's Pinocchio. Yeah.
Oh, really? No, that's Storybook Land.
Yeah,
That's not.
you're-
That's
Well, I've
not
heard
the same.
Disneyland.
But that's not the same. It's not that ride. It was another ride. Anyhow, doesn't
I
matter.
can't remember, yeah.
Oh, and that's another one, Storybook Land. That one really
That's
cool.
fun.
Yeah, that's one's really neat. Little Fantasyland.
I guess my point is on as far as having a land with rides in it
Mhm.
and layout. Disney World has lands with selected rides that stay within those lands,
Okay.
and then it has multiple lands in each one of the Magic Kingdom. And same for like Animal Kingdom. So you have Asia, you have Africa. They're themed like that.
Okay.
And so rides associated with those types of lands
Yeah.
are going to be found in that.
Yeah, so
general
like
area.
in Asia, you have the Expedition Everest.
Okay.
In Africa.
Where's the Jungle Cruise located?
Well,
Jungle
that's
Cruise
in
in the
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
Oh, okay. So that would be.
And that's in
okay.
Adventureland.
So
That's
is it
in
kind of like
Adventureland.
Disneyland is Magical Kingdom? Like
Magic Kingdom.
Very
Magic Kingdom.
very
Very
similar.
Okay.
everything
Yeah.
within,
Yeah.
and then all the other parks are
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Well,
As far as-
sort of. Here's the deal. You got the Magic Kingdom, and then you have Epcot,
Okay.
and then you have Animal Kingdom way over here, and then you have Hollywood Studios right here,
Wow.
and then you have hotels mixed in.
And they're not
all
within
of it.
walking distance, right?
No shot.
No, you could not walk. No.
No
No,
shot.
because they have. There's also the big lake there, and so you're not going to be able to walk. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you're talking two different animals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're talking space-wise, amount of people-wise, accommodating that kind of situation,
Gotcha.
you could spend 2 weeks at Disney World and never see it all.
Okay.
If you spend 2 weeks at Disneyland,
You most likely
You-
get to see it
you'd
all.
see
you
it
will
all
check,
yeah,
you
twice
will
over,
check
3
every
times
ounce of it over
yeah.
twice.
Yeah, be able to go to other places.
We
like,
still,
I mean, that's
we
just the
still have
size
not
of
been
it.
and done everything at Disney World, and
That's true.
we've been quite a few times, and we still just haven't,
But that's not because we haven't tried to go do everything, because we have not done that. Well, that is because we haven't done that. What I'm saying is, it's not because we were not able to achieve that goal. We just didn't set that as a goal.
No, we
we
didn't.
wanted to go
Take it
and
slowly.
and do some of the same things over again because they're our favorite things
Gotcha.
that we've found so far. And so we just add little new things here and there along the way. But
because
it's
we know
just-
we're going to be back.
right.
So as far as going back to the rides portions of it, and again, partiality of it all as far as Disneyland goes. I mean, you just have a lot of just amazing rides that you have there.
So your amazing rides are because they've been there from the original. You love them.
They're sentimental.
They're sentimental.
No,
Sentimental
not
about it.
Yeah.
necessarily that too. I think what it is that let's take the Indiana Jones ride. That ride is just fantastic, and just on how, I mean, it's not one of the original rides that they had there. And now, forgive me, I mean, did they have Indiana Jones ride at Disney World prior to they had it at Disneyland?
They don't
They
have
don't
a ride.
have a ride. They have a show
There you go. Okay, so
where you can actually get involved in it, my friend.
hey, I understand that, but you have to be picked for that. Everybody else can actually really, drive the car. and
If you jump
Indiana
and
Jones.
scream loud enough, they will pick you.
Really? Okay. Have you been picked for it?
I've never jumped and screamed loud enough.
Well, maybe that's something for a future video.
We'll have to see if that's really the case.
But-
With your jacket, maybe.
Yeah, I'll wear my jacket and I'll get
Wear
it.
your jacket.
But the thing about the rides are, if you have the sentimental value, Disneyland has way more because it's the original place and it still has some of those original rides.
And that's what's cool about it. Being able, for me, to go on a ride and know that, Walt Disney walked the same things here. He designed this ride.
He rode it.
He rode this ride. Different things like that. Being able to be on something that is historic, I think for me,
like the
is-
Carousel of Progress.
well, yes, I understand. Right, the Carousel of Progress. Mind you, that will be another video that Cole will take care of for us one day. But to be on, to be a part of history and to go on these rides and say this is, to take the walk in Walt's footsteps, as you would say.
Yeah.
And I think that's some of the neat things that has been there since the beginning, the original ones.
We would agree that it is a neat experience at Disneyland that is different than Disney World. But it's not to say that Disney World is less of a theme park.
No.
But it just doesn't have the same history. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
But the rides, a lot of them, are just as...
But I think for me is going to Disney World, I would want to see because, unfortunately Walt wasn't able to see that. It was his vision. To see his vision on what it has become, I think for me would be awesome, to see and be like, wow, this is what he's talking about. This is to be on this and go, wow, this is everything he wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As far as rides, we got off rides there.
Yeah.
As far as rides,
I know. Rides, yes.
we did.
What would be your favorite ride then for Walt Disney World? Or what would be your staple ride? You'd be like, okay, what is one ride that represents Walt Disney World?
All right, so staple ride in the Magic Kingdom, if I were going, is Seven Dwarf Mine Train.
Okay.
Second one would be maybe Big Thunder. And my family doesn't like this ride, but I do. Space Mountain.
Okay.
Those are kind of more the staple areas for me.
Okay.
As far as some of the other parks, there'd be different rides. I like Expedition Everest.
Gotcha.
They do have the whole Pandora Land at Animal Kingdom. If you like Pandora, that's cool.
Not the music service, just
That's
so you guys
correct.
know. Okay.
I for one, and y'all can cuss me in the comments. Not really, please don't do that. But I'm not a big Pandora fan, and so it's a real pretty area at night. But I never got into the movie with the avatars and all.
Understand.
It's as well themed or better even. It's close, neck and neck with Star Wars Land as far as being immersive. But being a Star Wars junkie, that's to me far better.
And mind you, that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. As far as some of the rides, I would say staple for me, and Michelle, I can't speak for you either, and I know you'll have yours too, but I would say Matterhorn is probably one of my more favorite rides that is there at Disneyland. Just because you can see Matterhorn from outside of the park. And so seeing Space Mountain, but being able to go on the Matterhorn. I remember riding on the Matterhorn, and you had the in Tomorrowland and stuff like that, you had the little Skyway, and the Skyway went through the Matterhorn, which I thought was really cool, because when you're riding the Skyway and you'd hear the Yeti in the background, and then you'd see the bobsleds and stuff. I remember trying to do that. As a kid, what we would try and do is my brother would be on the Skyway, and I would keep trying to ride the Matterhorn and go through so where I could see him. And so those were kind of the neat little things that I would try. I think a staple ones probably for me would be also Matterhorn, or I'm sorry, I already said Matterhorn, but it would be Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. Those probably for me were my main ones. Those would be ones that I would run to go to for Pirates, just because of the smell, just because of just how awesome that it was. And then that would be one of the ones that at the very end that I would want to ride.
All right.
But they're really good. So maybe if y'all could do this too, for some of you that have been to both parks, what would be your rides that would be your staple rides? How would you compare those? And if you guys could put those in the comments, let us know, what would be. Michelle, what rides do you remember? What is if you had to pick, one or two rides that
Small World.
Small World?
It's a Small World.
Yep.
And I can go on that every day, all the time.
Okay. All right. And Tammy, now you all went to Disneyland as well. So do you guys have ones as far as, that you would say, when I go back to Disneyland, I'm wanting to go on this one?
Yes.
Oh,
What would that be?
The Cars ride.
yeah.
The Cars ride?
Yes, we loved it so
Cars
much.
That is
ride.
fun.
It's so
It's
much
amazing.
fun.
Radiator Springs.
Yes.
Yes, Radiator Springs is amazing. I mean, I feel like people have like forgotten about it and they don't talk about it quite as much anymore.
Okay.
But when you talk about immersion, like
that was the first time I ever
it
saw or
is
felt
amazing.
real immersive
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney.
Yeah, like
Okay.
for me, I, you know, he talked about our beginning experience with Disney World. I was looking for that like really deep immersion, and not that they don't have it in just the Magic Kingdom in general, but there's not really a land that's as immersive as Cars Land is in the Magic Kingdom.
In the
now,
Magic Kingdom.
You go
There is
into
now.
there is now. You go into the other, you know, Star Wars Land, Toy Story Land. Those are all very immersive, but Cars Land for me just like, I don't know, maybe it's sentimental because it was my first trip, but it just really takes the cake for me for immersion. And I agree, Star Wars Land is very immersive. We've been to Star Wars Land at Disney World, and it is very immersive, but I just feel like
Well, talking about
I just really enjoyed
seeing
Cars Land.
what Disney was able to do with Cars Land, that makes me so excited about Avengers Campus.
Oh,
The Avengers Campus, I want to see how they immerse you into that.
Yeah.
And how that's going to be, and how they got the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, taking over the Tower of Terror, you know, now it's that part of immersion. I can't wait, because if you remember what was there before, which was Bugs Land. And Bugs Land was very immersive as well.
It was, too.
And it was neat because you felt like you were a bug. You know, you got
felt
to
very small.
and how they did it. Like you had the pencils that were huge,
Yeah.
and you had all the different stuff. So the immersion part was really cool. It brought you down into that.
Right. So thank y'all for watching Disney World.
versus
Disneyland.
And until next time,
from our house to yours.